Seems like the whole world's waiting, 'cause this is not no big thing.
Okay, guys, as you know, the BTM Club show is all about the inspirational heroes among us. We don't have to look anywhere else for them. They're right here in our community. And today we have one of the biggest UK legends in music, Mr. Don E. He didn't expect that introduction, you know. You see, he was like, he's thrown. He's like, oh, actually, this is quite.
Yeah, okay, I feel special.
Yes, we're talking about you. Yeah, we're talking about you. How you doing?
I'm all right, not too bad, man. I've got a little cold trying to get me. My daughter's just gone back to school. So, you
Okay.
know, they go to school, they catch all these lurgies.
Pick up every single germ.
We've been
And
fine
they
for
are
6 weeks. Yeah, we've been fine
germ
for 6 weeks.
magnets.
No problem. And all of a sudden, it's like, yo, man, I'm sniffling. I'm so, hence the
And what a
glasses.
time for you to be getting sick when you've got all this going on.
This is not the week for it, bro. This is not the week.
I'm telling you.
Too much on. I got too much on.
Well, yes, I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about you before we get to the concerts this weekend, right?
All right, cool.
Because you've got a lot going on this weekend. Listen, guys, let me tell you, he's hungry. Apparently, I've interrupted his dinner, and he's got to get to rehearsals. So we will have a very special few moments with Mr. Don E. So another one of our South London boys, I like to say, South London talent.
Yep.
From Brixton.
From Brixton, yeah, went Stockholm Manor, went Hillmead, Summer Leighton. Yeah, man, proper South, bro.
Proper South. But then you moved out, right? You don't live in London
Then
now.
I moved out like 1986, 87. I kind of started venturing into West London and Ladbroke Grove and hooking up with, I joined a band called Old Land Montano, which is Misty Old Land and K Montano. And they were signed to Virgin Records.
Okay.
To 10 Records. So we became the backing band for those girls. So that was my introduction into the whole record company. And so that was around 1986, 87. I started rolling with a guy called Sean Oliver, who wrote Wishing Well for Terence Trent D'Arby. So he kind of took me under his wing, and I was like his little keyboard player on all of his sessions. And so that's kind of how I kind of got into.
But you're a properly trained musician. You're not just, I fell into music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of both. I mean, you know, I just happened to be born. I'm a preacher's son, so my dad played in church, and he played the guitar and the organ and the bass and everything. So I had that at home from like 5 years old, and then they could see that I had a love for it. So they kind of just nurtured that and sent me to piano lessons, and I had guitar lessons at school. So yeah, I learned up to a point, but I kind of mostly play by ear.
Okay. So what are your main instruments? Keyboards, obviously.
Well, drums and keyboards, yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm going to jump forward a bit now. This guy is also, in case you didn't know, the musical director for Miss Grace Jones. Yeah, the one with the body at this age that can hula hoop for 20 minutes. Yeah. Right? How did that come about?
I was the MD for that, and then the work got too much, so we handed that over to Charles Stewart. But in the beginning, I've been doing Grace Jones 17 years now. We've been touring with Grace, playing for Grace. So in the beginning, it was just 4 or 5 of us on stage, and I was kind of just making sure they kept the vibe up, and make sure everybody. If someone stopped playing, if something happened over there or went wrong, I would just take over and do that. I was that kind of person. So
because you can play so many things. You can.
Yes. So I got kind of few instruments around me. I kind of got like, I had a guitar, I had a keyboard, I had a bass, just in case anything went wrong with somebody else. I would just jump on and just ghost it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What I love is he plays it down. But in order to be able to ghost it, you got to be able to play it. Yeah. And therein lies the talent. You know what I mean? You can't underplay that. It's
right. That's right.
Drum, guitar, bass,
I mean, yeah, you do have to. You do. I mean, and that sort of started by going to church, and you had a bunch of musicians who go to church, but some people would drop out certain days. So the keyboard player wouldn't come today, or the drummer wouldn't come, the next Sunday, or the bass player. So you just jump on that instrument, and that's how I learned all the different instruments and how it all works.
What I love is, you came from, as you say, the church. Your father was a preacher. Yeah. It was all about music. And you know that in our community, a lot of the time that's not encouraged. But I guess for you, that was different because...
It wasn't encouraged. It wasn't actually, my dad was like,
really?
You play devil music. We don't want no devil music in here.
Not with that accent, though.
yeah. That's like, well, my dad's from Jamaica. My mom's from Barbados.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So, we don't want no devil music in there. So,
devil music,
He went as far as I played certain records. He'd walk in the room and pick them up off the turntable and break them and throw them in the bin. That's how much he didn't want me to do it.
Wow.
And because of that, that put the fire in me to do it. And when things started to happen now, his mates at work would say to him, "Yo, I see your son. I see your son on top of the pops, man." And he started to sort of look at me different, like, okay.
Yeah, this boy is serious. Because I guess the mentality, especially of that generation, is get a proper job. Yeah, they wanted that security, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about getting a proper job and doing it right, and being a doctor and being a lawyer and anything but a musician. But it was in me just to. I said to my mum at an early age, "Mum, I can hear an audience clapping." She goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I can hear an audience clapping, man." So how you mean? You can hear people clapping? I said, "Hey, what's wrong with this boy? He can hear people clapping."
As well as being able to play every instrument, as you can hear, he's an impressionist.
It's all about sound. It's all
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, what was the first big single for you when it really started to happen?
Oh, Love Makes the World Go Round.
Right.
That came out in 1992 on Island Records, signed to Chris Blackwell's label, Island Records. That went to number 15, I think, in the charts. Top 20, it was top 30 in America.
Wow.
So it was good.
Love Makes the World Go Round. But Unbreakable was quite a big one as well, wasn't it?
Unbreakable was the big underground one, I wanted to put that out as a single, but it was too black for the pop charts. But black people's street loved it, and it was number one for like 6 weeks, that song. In fact, that's the song that's kept me going all these years, seriously.
Oh, really?
Oh, man, come on, man. That's like Omar's There's Nothing Like This.
Yeah.
That song, because I've been singing at weddings for years. When people ain't, seen me, in the mainstream or doing whatever, I've been doing weddings, parties, bar mitzvahs, funerals.
The lot. But I'll have to tell you, one of my favorites is Don't She. That tune still moves me.
Yeah, man. I love
still
that.
Moves me.
Yeah, Don't She was that was the second album that I didn't promote that much. The first album, there were like billboard posters everywhere. The second album, it was like A4 posters everywhere.
And why was that? Was that because of record company not giving them the backing, the support?
Yeah, not giving me the support.
Especially the financial support, which is the important, right?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of weird. I think they wanted to slow me down, and it probably won't slow me down. It was probably slow my management company down at the time, because they were unorthodox. They were a black management company, and it was kind of unheard of for the UK at that time to kind of have a sort of black management that had so many sort of artists in the charts, because they had China
Please
Black.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Ron Tom?
That was Johnny Laws.
Johnny Laws. Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
Ron Tom was the one who hooked me up with Johnny Laws, because when Ron met me in Portobello Road and said, "Yeah, I know this guy that's he runs Brixton Academy. Come and meet this dude. I'll take you to meet him." So then I went and met him, and they set up a company together. But Johnny was a bit of a megalomaniac, so he kind of took over the whole thing and moved Ron Tom to the side, kind of thing. So it was kind of Johnny.
I knew Ron Tom was in the equation somewhere.
Oh yeah, Ron Tom was there. Yeah, it was because partly Ron Tom was the reason why I got my deal. Really, when I think about it, if it weren't for Ron and his hookups, I might not be here. So
right, yeah. So, I mean, when did you throw together? And I use that term loosely because it wasn't thrown together. It was strategically put together. The British Collective.
no, the British Collective, that was born out of my album Little Star. I did a track called Spiritual, and I thought I want to have some other artists on it. So I already spoke to Junior at a party. I already spoke to Omar. So them two were already going to do it. So they jumped on and I said, yo, let's call Carl Macintosh. Let's call Rick Clarke. Let's call Glenn Goldsmith. Let's call Paul Johnson. Let's call Noel McCoy. Let's call everybody. Get everybody in there. So I got as many of my heroes, my UK soul heroes on the track. And then when we sat and listened to it, we said, yo, man, we have to do more than this. We can't just, this can't be it. We have to.
You can't just do that and leave it at that. It's got so much more potential.
Yeah, this has got potential, man. This is a no-brainer. Because people were trying to put shows together, the Legends of Soul, and hire us all individually to come in and do the Legends of Soul. And we were like, yo, man, but if we're an actual band already, like we're doing it like properly, then you know what I mean, the budget goes up and everybody can eat, and it makes sense. So so far so good, and it's kind of picking up as well now that we're with UMC management, so it's good.
So I guess when you say that, you know, you had to hand the baton over to the other guy for Grace Jones, it was because you had both your solo career going on, you had British Collective going on, and of course became a father in the process.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, man. You can only juggle so much. So so I mean, and that sort of being a father has just completely changed my life, completely.
Yes, I've seen the videos with the guitar, with the cooking the dinner, and they're ready to lick up your head because she doesn't want one.
I'm telling you, man. And I'm having another one in 5 weeks' time, I think.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations in advance.
Thank you, man. So so it's life changing, but great, you know, and it's crazy. It's like watching myself. She gets up, plays the piano straight every morning, singing.
Wow! So you can already see a path being carved there.
Oh yeah, it's like Donny Hathaway and Layla.
Donny Hathaway, Layla. Very good.
It's that vibe there.
What I love with you is, with all the heights that you've reached, and you have reached some great heights. Yeah, you have. Don't be playing it down again like in the beginning, yeah? That's why I'm talking to you, because if you hadn't, I wouldn't be having you on my screen, yeah? But you've never moved far from your community. Now, you know what I mean by that, because some people, they do reach the heights and then they're like, well, I can't really do that anymore, you know, because but then I see Donny with the boys and the back at some council flats with some paling with the mics, just singing with sound system, as in the beginning.
Yeah, that's the way.
And I personally think that's magnificent, because you're never far from the community who will always support you. Because
that's it, man. They've been supporting us for years, man. Like without fail, they've supported me. They've supported Omar, Junior. No, they've supported us, man. Carl Macintosh, Rick Clarke. So the least you can do, man, is turn up at a show and nice up the people, man. So, and it's just the vibe, and that's where it come from as well. Because we, you know, I grew up in that. Yeah, I grew up in that, so I get it completely. So,
you know, a lot of people do grow up in that.
I'm not going to be too rich and, you know, get rich and switch and start moving a bougie crowd. I mean, I've done that. The thing is, with me, I can roll with any crowd. I can roll with aristocrat, bougie, roadman. Whichever, it don't matter. I roll anywhere. I go anywhere with anybody.
Right. Yeah.
Which has been a blessing. I've been able to do that. A bit schizophrenic, isn't it, really? Because you have to switch up yourself. You know what I mean?
They're the interesting people. You know, all those people who say that they're the same all the time. They don't change for anybody. They lie. Nobody can be the same all the time in every environment and circumstance.
You can't certain ways. You can't say, you know what I mean? Yo, blood, wagwan, blood when you walk into the boardroom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You kind of have to flex different. They will try and say that to me, though. You know what I mean?
Because they're putting you in that. Yeah. And you have to let them know, well, I know that, but I also know something else.
I know your
So this is business here. This is not roadman talk with a magnum in your hand. Yes. So, absolutely. So, you're right. But it's lovely that you keep with your community, because as we both know, there are a lot of people who reach the heights and then they're like, oh, I can't do that anymore. I can't be seen to be.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few people that are, the streets help them a whole heap.
Yeah.
And then when the streets want them to come and bless the mic, they're like, no, it's too rough for me, or too. There's a few artists, I won't name them, but there's a few. Yeah.
No, don't name them. We don't want a lawsuit.
I wanna, but I'm not.
I know you do. I can see it's on the end of your mouth.
One day I'm gonna just out everybody.
No, but it's great that you guys and Junior and everybody, and it's also good the way the collective works, because it's a group, it's a band, but you guys seem free to come in and out. And there are no restrictions. I don't know the contractual thing, but it doesn't seem like there are any restrictions. So, some days you might get all 5 or 6 of you, and then other days it's just 4 of you. But, it seems to work perfectly because it's relaxed, and you guys allow each other the freedom to do the other things you've got to do.
That's right, man. We're all, we're 4 or 5 individual artists doing our own things. And we bring that to the show. We bring that to the show, man. So you're getting the album that we did together. So that's the nucleus. You're getting the whole the man band flavor from that, and then afterwards we can break out and do our hits that you know us for individually.
Yeah,
it's just easy, man.
It's much easy. Potential in that one thing, because you all have done some amazing tracks, amazing. So ready. Goose pimples, man, goosebumps. Spiritual goosebumps. Yeah. And when you know the music from way back when, I can tell who's singing which part.
The voices are distinctive. Everybody in the collection.
Yeah, when Junior's on, when you're on, when Lee is on. Omar as well.
Distinct Noel. It's distinctive tones. Everybody's got their own tone, and it kind of blends. It all works together.
Yeah,
really well. So blessed for that.
So tell us about Summer Bounce.
Summer Bounce is my latest release that came out last couple of weeks before summer ended this year, and it's just a vibe, a celebration, because a lot of people couldn't get away because they ain't got the double jab or whatever. So I thought, let's bring the holiday home and bring it to your ear. So when you listen to it, you kind of feel like you've gone away anyway. You can
just get a glass of drink and and
sit down in your sofa, and you feel, and it just takes you away. You feel like you're on the beach in Barbados or somewhere.
The more you drink, the better it sounds. The further away you feel you are.
Yeah. That's the kind of vibe. And it's one of 4 releases that I've put out in the last 18 months since the lockdown. I did Isolation EP, which done pretty well. I won some awards for that.
Love that. And you sampled some great tunes on that, like Don Blackman.
I replayed the Don Blackman. I replayed that. I did sample that one. I played that. I replayed it again.
Right.
But I sampled. There was Number One Girl, Light of the World. I used a bit of the intro and made a song out of it called Doing It for Love.
Again, they're nice, recognizable touches. Because you can hear that how the Don Blackman is played. It's not the original, but it's got the vibe of someone who knows the original. Yeah, and there's a big difference.
Yeah, that's the one.
So you haven't copied it.
No,
but you've put your own Donny twist on it.
Yeah, because if you listen to some of the voicings of the chords, mine's are slightly different, but just the feeling of it, you know where it's come from. So and I give them all their credit in the publishing. So all the royalties of that song will go to Don Blackman's estate.
Yeah.
So it's all good, man. And
well, I've been rinsing that tune out everywhere. It's the opening for my events. It's the closing for my events. Any videos I put up.
Caught up in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Thanks, man.
But you're not getting any royalties, okay?
Right. The tunes have got codes inside it, so every time you play it, I get paid. Don't worry.
Okay. Smart boy.
I get paid. Don't worry, man.
So tell me about this weekend, because this weekend sounds crazy.
This weekend's crazy. Yeah, I got 2 shows this weekend. I got the British Collective on Saturday night at Pizza Express in Holborn. And then on the next night, I've got the Jazz Cafe, which is my show with the Melonics and Morgan Monroe. And I'm bringing Omar down. I'm bringing Hill Street Soul down, MC Creed down. I might even bring the Collective from the night before down. So, yeah.
You may as well.
I might as well, innit? So we'll see, because they might want some.
And I think Leee is at Jazz Cafe on Saturday.
That's right. Lee's there Saturday night while I'm at, we're at
at Holborn.
Yeah,
are you taking this in, guys? Now, Leee is one of the British Collective as well, right? But he's at Jazz Cafe.
He's the member that comes and goes. Lee's, yeah.
Yeah. So he's at Jazz Cafe Saturday, and these guys are at Holborn Pizza Express. And then Donnie's doing his solo show, but you know what Don's like. He's going to bring all the boys. It can't be solo. He's going to bring a whole heap of people down to Jazz Cap on Sunday. So what's in store for us?
Man, you're just going to get some of the 90s, some of the 2000s, all the way up until now, man. You know what I mean? And we're going to be playing some of the Summer Bounce songs live, Loving You, Caught Up. We're definitely doing Caught Up in the middle. Yeah, you're going to get a bit of the Isolation, the Unbreakable, the Future Air Grooves in like...
Yeah, because, I mean, people love to hear your new stuff. Of course they do. They love to hear your new stuff. And you're very smart because, as I said, even though it's new stuff, it has the flavor of the old school. So it's still appealing. But I know it must be really frustrating for you guys when you've got new stuff out and people are going, they want to hear the tune from 19 Saltfish. And though you want
Unbreakable.
Yeah, and you're like, I love Unbreakable.
Love makes the world go round. The thing is, they forget that we're artists, so an artist can't keep painting the same picture all the time.
Yeah.
But obviously there's one picture that everybody loves, isn't it? It captured everybody.
So they want to see the Mona Lisa every time they come to you.
Yeah.
But don't
the guy who painted the Mona Lisa must be like, man, you know how much picture me paint Mona Sarah, Mona Louise, and everybody just wanted Lisa. You know
yeah. But I mean, it's great that you've kept creating, you've kept close to your community, and you're doing the do. And you really are the nucleus that brought the British Collective together.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to say so, yeah. I mean, it was my dream to have all of us. It's just a dream to have all of us in one band, man.
Which is a pretty special thing because a lot of people, they want to go and do it on their own and be the star on their own.
And also, when we came out, there was no social media, so that there's like a disconnect with some of the younger generation. They just don't know about us. Like you mentioned Omar to some people, they don't know who that is. So it was like, right, well, we're in this social media age now. Now's the time for us to join forces and be visible, and eventually the younger generation will see what I say. Oh, right, then man, there's the man that was before us, and you know what I mean? Because there's this disconnect where they've forgotten who was before them. They think it's them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm having that struggle all the time, and that's consequently what this whole series is about, because I'm trying to say that grime...
Not all of them, I'm saying there's a lot of people who know, but there's still quite a few people who don't really know, the history of UK black music and how it came.
And think that what they're hearing now is the root.
Of course, yeah, I mean, everyone's guilty of that. I mean, when I was little, coming up, what I thought I was hearing, I thought that was it. But then, so I was bigging up what I heard, but then when you start to do history now and hanging out with people like Ron Tom, who's got like rooms full of vinyl, full of wax, and he would just put out a record and go, listen to this one. You listen to, and he'd be like, oh, wow, that's where that song comes from. You go, yeah. And that was done in 1970. But you'd be like, wow, 1960. Wow, so there's...
And further back, you're going back to Duke Ellington and...
history. I mean, I all the way back to 1921.
Yeah. Exactly.
Soul music been running since 1921.
And I think we grew up in a generation where the history was passed down automatically from our parents. And I think it gives you a different appreciation of music. So we were never, we bigged up what was happening in our time, but we were still aware that there was more than what was going on in our time. Yeah. And we saw the evolution of it. So, I think there's a different appreciation of music. You've gone, can't see you. Okay, now he's back. Now I have to ask the one question. Trevor Walters, Love Me Tonight. How did he receive that?
Oh, he loves it, man. He loves it. In fact, that's a funny story because we were in the studio vibing to a song. We were writing another song with Leee John, actually. And I started playing these chords, and then Noel started singing Love Me Tonight on top of it. I was like, oh, I said, yo, that's it. That's the one there. I said,
okay.
To drop on these, that's the one, bro. So that's how Love Me Tonight came about. And yeah, Trevor Waters loved it. And when we do the remix, we're going to drop him on there.
Well, you know what? I did love the original, but...
Oh, yeah, that was one of my favorite tunes.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me see.
You like that one there? you like the soul mix better?
Oh, it's got the drop. I'm sorry. It has
it's got a flavor. It's got a flavor, yeah.
It absolutely has.
Yeah,
well, listen, I know you've got to go, and I know you're a busy man. Have fantastic shows this weekend with the boys at
Pizza Express
in Holborn, 25th. And then your supposed solo show on Sunday at Jazz Cafe. But we know we have to say supposed because he's going to bring all the boys down. And they love being on stage, which is great. They love being on stage together.
Yeah.
So you know they're going to
we got enough mics. If there's not enough mics, we're going to...
You'll just share. you will just share. Yeah, well, how is the change of the industry for you? Because obviously, even from when you first started, the industry has changed now. How are you coping with that transition?
Well, we're cool. You know what? We're a bit long in the tooth now, so we're the older heads now. So, I mean, and the way...
Listen, I've been talking to people way older than you who are having to make the transition, trust me.
Yeah, well, the technology is great. You got to embrace the technology. I was always reluctant in the beginning to embrace, computers, but then I did.
Yeah.
The internet, but then I did the social media thing, and then I did, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, well, I've got to let people in my life, like, and let them, you know what I mean? It's like nosy. Yeah. It's like, it's too nosy, man. It's too intrusive kind of thing.
Yeah.
With the technology now and the way things are set up, you can actually do it yourself without having a middleman, without having any of the problems that we did back in the day, with people ripping you off.
Yeah, I mean, there were problems, I guess, but, like you said, you bounce off of each other when you're live in the studio. Now you can make music in different cities in the world.
That's right. We can.
How do you feel with that? It's not the same feeling as being in there together.
Yeah, it's not the same as being together. It's never going to be the same. But the world's changed now. It's a digital age now. So people can record their part over there. I record my part here. We send it to each other, whatever, mix it down, and it sounds like we're together when you hear it.
Yeah. The listener is none the wiser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's great to talk to you. It's great to talk to you. It is great to talk to you. I'm going to let you go and get some food before you go to rehearsal, because he's got to rehearse tonight for shows at the weekend, which you all know. And I'm sure there's still tickets available. So
yeah, I think all the seating ones have gone upstairs, I think, at the Jazz Cafe, but downstairs is available. There's still a few. And it's going to be nice, man. I got Hill Street Soul coming down. We're going to Stir It Up. I got Omar coming down. We're going to drop a tune together. And MC Creed, we're going to do a new Calypso vibe that we've been dropping out there. So yeah, man, it's going to be a wicked night. And you got Morgan Monroe and Melonix. So it's going to be killing it, man. It's going to be nice.
Listen to the variety, because you're going to get a little soul, funk, vibe, and then even some calypso, soca.
Everything. That's the thing with me. When you come to my thing, I like you to feel like you went out, like you went to a show, like how you feel when you leave a Maze concert, like that feeling.
Oh, well.
That's the feeling I like when you go to a concert. That when you leave and you've seen Maze or you've seen Earth, Wind and Fire or something. Yeah, that.
Well, I have seen these guys live on several occasions, and they've torn the Boysdale down, and it's exactly what he said. Yes, there are 5 of them, and the band. They're not as big as Earth, Wind and Fire or Maze, but the impact is equal. Believe me. So you are in for a good night out if you can get down there and go and see these boys performing. Amazing. Don, all the very best.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on the show, bro.
Great shows at the weekend.
Thank you.
And You know, your community is always behind you, as you know.
Listen, man, much to the community for supporting me all this time, mate. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community.
They still love the Donny. Anytime I'm playing you on the show, on the radio, my keyboard, my switchboard is lighting up. I'm like, I can't answer phones and play. Come on. Yes, I know what you want to say. You love Donny.
More to come. We got Unbreakable 3 coming next year. It's going to be 30 years since Unbreakable came out. So I've got an album to celebrate that next year. So look out.
30 years since Unbreakable came out. Look at him. He doesn't look old enough.
Well, I was born 30 years ago. So.
Oh, you started in the fetus. Okay. You started in the womb as a fetus. Okay, I get it. Listen, all the best to you.
Yes,
you
brother.
take care. Great to speak to you. Thanks
Likewise.
for talking to us here on the BTM Club at the beat.
No worries, man.
Yeah, if I can get down, I definitely will. You know
Please come down, man. You're missing out if you don't, man. Come on, man.
You know, if I can get down, I will.
I'll see you there.
You take care. All the best.
Peace.
Good.